retirement, ano yung naituturing mo, sir, na experience or nagawa mo bilang isang pulis na tingin mo babaunin mo habang nabubuhay?
Physically and emotionally or spiritually, dalawa. Tatlo. Pero I will answer two, no? Physically, because I have many scars. Paunin ko lahat yan. Those are scars of victory. Noon, pag nakikita ko yung mga scars ko, diba? Nung first time I met you, I know many things about you before I met you. Nagagalit yung, I have 52 mental screws, diba? And then, one for the replacement, just to refresh the memory. I have an impaired ear. I have 4 spine operations. So I'm with the body as I mentioned. And so, just to relate you one story. When I was in jail, 4.5 years I was in jail. Pag nakikita ko yung mga scars ko, yung mga peklat ko, it keeps it burning. And there's anger, there's bitterness in my soul, anger in my heart. Pero my mother is a teacher, nakita ng mother ko yung scars ko sa akin. Bakit why are you always upset with those scars? Don't you know that those scars are scars of victory? And you fought them all, you promised them. And so, that will be very memorable to me, these scars. Now, we go to something that is immaterial. Material things that transcends from one class to another, from one generation to another. Ang maalala ko dyan, how we fought hard with my comrades. Yung mga nakikita ko ninyo dito, they fought a big battle unknown to me. But these are the people who bled in the front line. Sila po, kami. These are all wounded. Mga wounded lahat itong mga nandito. Unsung heroes. Kaya, I hope I can impart a lesson. There are 230,000 and more police officers and more than 110 million Filipinos. I cannot have a conversation with them one by one. I hope that this docu-film and the MTV composed by Knowledge Minister and editor can communicate even in my absence. I will remember that, and I hope that you will remember it also. It will be Spotify, and hindi ko alam kung that will be accommodated sa Netflix or somewhere. But the intention is to educate and to inform the people that it's not only about me, sa likod ng job, it's not only about me. It's the story of all law enforcers who tried and who attempt to come up with a peaceful society, they sacrifice a life. And I hope that the sacrifices will not be put in vain. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, DJ. Ang next question na kay President Director, si Direk Elita. Direk, walang buwan pa lang nakakalipas simula nang pinalabas ang sa likod ng Chapa. Kwentuhan mo naman kami dito sa dalawang international na na-receive ng pelikula.
Last January 18 sa Dhaka International Film Festival, yung Beneath the Badge, kasi nagkaroon siya ng shift, no? From sa likod ng Chapa to during the festival, kailangan ng subtitles sa English. So, may mga nagsasuggest yung mga kaibigan natin na parang maraming, naging malaswag sa likod ng Chapa. Nagkataon din na kailangan namin siya ngayon sa International Film Festival. So, naging Beneath the Badge. Again, the first sinubok namin sa South Africa, ito sa collegial body, mga professors, and then all. Sabi kasi nila na i-testing mo ang sa mga academic. So, maganda naman ang review. So, nag-entry kami sa Dhaka International Film Festival. That was January 7 to 14. At nanalo ng Special Mention Award ang Beneath the Badge. nag-submit kami, so parang hindi namin, ngayon lang namin na-realize din naman na major award pala yung napalanunan namin last March 15, no? Itong sa Worldwide Documentaries Without Borders sa US. Hindi din namin na-realize na ganoon pala siya kasi Outstanding Excellence Award, one of the major awards pala yun sa festival. So, naging kasama doon Japan, Mexico, USA, and Philippines. So, yun yung naging trajectory ni Japa and GBE. And meron din kami nomination sa Doc on Aim sa Denmark, sa Copenhagen. Naging ano din kami nominated kami. So, yun ang first sabi ni Jan Walang natin, totoo ba ito? Sabi ko, totoo sir, ito yung totoo yun. Kasi we did not expect, from the very start, we did not expect na maging pelikula ito. Hindi, di ba sir, nag-uusap lang kami, and ang tayo speaking in documentary for News and Philippines, di ba? Naglumaki, at naabot namin yung mga festivals. So ngayon, 2 awards kami, isang nominations, international. So yun yung pinaka-update ko namin. Si Sir Hansel naman may update din kasi may mga ginagawa yung last screenings, di ba? So, baka sir gusto may share sa kanila saan na umabot yung proceeds na last screenings natin.
The process of the, well, I have to tell you that yung mga process ng docu-film, yung maminita ng docu-film, with MOA, with the foundation, more particularly sa sexually molested children, because that's the intention to help them dun sa endeavors nila at least to give to alleviate pain dun sa sexually molested children. Like nakagulid nandito na yun eh. So the Talikala Incorporated sa based in Davao, a decades-long refuge for survivors of sexual abuse, and gave them, I think 300,000 ang naibigay sa akin, it will be more. And the half of that was donated to the Davao City Police Advisory Council to complete an indigenous children's library at Barangay Marilog District, a safe learning space for children in one of the city's most remote communities. Yan yung pinuntahan ng proceeds. So there will be more black screenings. I think there will be 5 to 6 more dito sa Calabarzon bago may bigay sa kinauukulan. And the process of that will be given to the foundation sa I mentioned. So yan po. It's a noble one. It's bigger. Hindi yan malaki kumpara doon sa mga dinanas ng mga kababayan natin. I hope that the gestures by itself it will inspire them. Actually, yung docu-film, the intention is to inspire people to not to be wounded, but to do the same noble acts as we did. I hope minus all the wounds, minus all the operations, but the intention by itself ay sana tularan ma-inspire yung mga ibang tao, ma-inspire yung mga policemen, lalo na yung mga junior officers to do the same. Maraming salamat.
Ay, ito mo natin si Miss Jen Sabila from Woodward.
Yeah, good evening po. First, I'd like to congratulate the whole team for the recognition and the success of sa likod ng Shaka. Sir, I'd like to ask na po sana, with this success, do you have a plan po na ipalabas din po ito sa ibang platforms like sa Netflix or sa ibang digital media platforms?
I think my director can answer that more ably.
Actually may mga nakausap ako sa mga festivals, they wanted to nagbubulat sa amin na magsabing kami ng entry, but we're still considering it kasi we are looking at the fact na we need to push and move the documentary on ground sa community, especially at this moment na parang may mga challenges sa security. So, yun yung pag-usapan na huwag muna in the meantime, we need to iikot muna para mas maintindihan po ng community sa mga upcoming police officers, sa mga family ng police officers, kung ano yung sacrifices of being a police officer. So, huwag muna, huwag marami na nagtatanong. Pero yung thought na, huwag muna, kasi 90 days na, 89 days na, so today na lang si Sir sa PNP. So, after the 89th day, baka i-decide na i-let go na siya. Marami kasi nag-i-inquire when can we share this, kailan maging open. So, as it is now, we're still raising yung sinabi ni John, we're still raising for the women and children's cause, and we're still pushing it, no? Hitting the grassroots for them to understand what it takes to be a police. Yun ang po muna.
And kay Sir Valentine po. Sir, tingin niyo po ba dun sa docu-movie na ipalabas na po lahat ng highlights ng buhay niyo? Or kung if you will be given a chance, is it possible to have a part 2 or sequel po? At kung sakali, gusto niyo ba kayo pa rin nagaganap or gusto niyo na may local actors tayo na gaganap bilang kayo? At sino po kaya kung sakali?
Okay, the first question, kung naipalabas na yung buhay ko doon, my wife is there, we can answer.
May kulang pa po ba?
Marami. I think that's it represents maybe 1/8 of my life story. Paano kita sagutin kaya? But the best of it, the best of it, the story of the best of it, na where we can inspire people. I think naipalabas mo na 80%. But I can answer you by percentage. Now, yung maybe sequel or episode, hindi ko alam yan. Hindi ako, I'm not so big with those. Yung director ang alam yan, hindi ko alam. And kung ako pa rin ang gaganap, my answer is, no, ayaw ko na. Ang hirap pala niyan, ang hirap pala. Alam mo yung document na yan, walang script. No script at all. Basta yung pinapil lang ng director, ito yung you come and be true. Yung mga binanggit namin doon, even myself, yung mga sinabi, even ginamit ni General Calixto, ni Colonel Mayames, even yung sinabi ni Captain Tinongan, sarili niya lahat yun. Sarili niya lahat yun na script. Walang script writer doon. Kasi we were forced by the director. A journalist, dati hindi naman siya movie director talaga eh. She's a journalist by profession, so I think that's the approach of a journalist, very aggressive.
At least you've proven na meron din po kayong talent sa acting. Without script, you deliver well.
Siguro, baka may talent tayo na dapat i-develop.
Pwede na po kayo sa next series ni Coco Martin without script. So sino pong sakali, sir, sino pong gusto niyo gumanap bilang kayo sa TV series or movie kung sakali?
I have to refrain from answering that one kasi my concentration now is on my retirement. Pero kung tanongin mo, daming magaling talaga dyan. Daming magaling na pinagpilian dyan before. To mention a few pero but not limited to o among others. May na-mention yung director namin dyan dati. Kasi it was started by sila Mr. Escortes before. Ito pinag-aralan na ito ni Direct Don Remo. They started it all. They had PowerPoint presentation na. Kaya lang hindi natapos-tapos because of the intervening events like they brought Petro Negros Oriental para mag-set ng warrants, warrant of arrest doon kay Tevez, Arlen Tevez. And then after that, they brought me to Davao for Kibuloy. So ang daming hindi natapos talaga. So in Davao, ang nakahuli ng todo sa akin doon ay si Miss Caguaya. So doon na natapos ang docu-film. It started with the intention of a 15-minute, the most interview of who Marandan is. Kasi I landed at Davao very unpopular. Unpopular in the sense that unknown to them kung anong gagawin ko. Baka gawin ko yung ginawa ko sa Negros Oriental. I was painted as monsters that time, so I don't have a good reputation. Well, hanggang ngayon, baka hindi pa rin naman maganda yung reputation ko, but that was the condition at the time. Kaya, ganun na ang nangyari. Pero, in the persistence, kanina, I made use of the word aggressive. Because of her aggressiveness, natapos yung docu-film. But, the intention of 15-minute interview, na naging 3 hours yung interview namin kasi in between questions, we became emotional. Nag-aaway kami pag nag-interview. Hinahodilay niya yung kanya kasi she's trying to insinuate something of which I did not do. Eh sabi ko naman, aggressive day. No, you are mistaken. You have yet to become a police officer bago mo maintindihan yung mga tanong mo sa akin at bago mo maintindihan ang sagot ko sa iyo. I was there. I experienced pain. There are many experiences, escapades, anecdotes, and all that. Marami akong experiences sa ground na hindi mo nakita. So, she tried to dig it all. She was able to dug it all. Majority was able, she was able to dug it all. And so, ito pala yung pinanggagalingan ng galing ng tao ko. Yun, maybe. So, I will mention na yung mga we conceptualize Paolo Abilino, Mr. Paolo Abilino. They conceptualize Ian Veneracion also, and not so good with celebrities. And two more. Yun yung mga iniisip nila. Pero, sabi naman ni Miss Edith, nung siya lang umawa, they have yet to be with you for maybe 3 months pa to examine and study your unreasonable behavior and activities. Mahirap pa yan. But they have to be with me the moment I wake up in the morning and sleep at night. Lahat ng ginagawa ko sa office, the way I talk, the way I get angry and all that. So, at dami pa lang considerations yan pag-aaralan ng mga artista. So, it will be very, very tedious. At sabi niya, meron akong naisip dyan para matapos na yung mga ganyan na we can do shortcut na ikaw na. So, ako na ang gumanap kay Kendall Marandan po. Yun yung nangyari. But this time, maybe the succeeding endeavors, ayaw ko na. Sila na.
Mahirap po pala, no? So sir, as you mentioned, you will be retiring in 89 days. So can you share with us your plans po after you retire?
Very simple. I want to go full-time husband to my wife and full-time father to my children. At hindi na ako, I will shy away. You will never hear from me again. Hindi na rin ako pupunta sa kampo. Doon ako sa bahay namin. 56-year-old. The life expectancy of Filipinos is 75-year-old. So if I'm 55 now, I still have 20 years or less than 19 years to live. Which means I have only 8 summers, I have only 19 summers to go. Hindi ko alam kung mga change yung but in the life expectancy, you can check that in Google, that 75 politika, so ayaw magdagdag para magduluhan ko yan sa tanong niya.
Anyway, good luck, sir, and thank you for
Thank
your answers. Thanks, answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The sexiest chance na. Ay, ito na natin isa yung sexy maganda from Radio Republica, Miss Kate Alahar.
Hi, good evening po. Following the docu-film yung sa MTV po, ano yung parang purpose or ano po, what do you intend to do with the song? Kung yung movie ginagamit niyo po sa, pinapadala sa mga festivals, ito po para saan at ano po yung magiging purpose? Miss Edita, kayo po or si Sir?
Kasi nung umiikot kami, mga police, especially yung mga asawa, nakaka-relate sa music. So, kaya last year pa natapos matagal kami, we've been talking about this na doing the release this. Until it came to a point na ang sinabi niya ate, iwan ko na kayo yung OST sa mga police. So, yun yung ibig sabihin, sir, ayusin ito. Kasi we did this for the movie. Tapos, ito mahirap pala, no? Kaya ayusin mo ang step, ayusin mo lahat. So, natapos na yung 2025. Pero pag-release mo pala sa ibang mga channels and brands, di ba? Sa ibang handlers, kailangan mo mag-study. Like, we are now in Spotify. We are now in YouTube Music. And sa Pop Movie House na YouTube, nandun na din yung MTV. So, it's like, sa mga nakarinig kanina, naka-LSS daw. Parang yung, especially yung mga families ng police na dumaan sa mga challenges and crisis, nakaka-relate sila. So, ang reflection ko kanina was, yun nag-iyawa ko si Sir kanina, Sir, because ito yung iiwan mo. Kasi nakaka-relate sila, especially yung mga police na biglang nakasuwag, biglang iniwan. So, yun siguro yung joy ni Sir na yung sinabi niya sa akin January yun na ate, iwan na natin yung team song kasi na 6 months na ako. So, inayos namin and finally, after the whole week, Sir, kami nag-usap kami, Sir, okay na ba? Okay ka ba nito? Sabi niya, yun na natin, iwan natin sa mga pulis at sa mga pamilya ng pulis. Baka magustuhan nila yung kanta. So, ito yung nangyari. So, we did not discuss about revenue, we did not discuss about anything. Ang point lang is, para naman maiwan niya yung music na naging makabuluhan sa journey niya as member of the Philippine National Police.
Thank you po. And first, sir, kanina po pinapakinggan ko kayo, you seem to feel very strongly about misconceptions and assumptions sa mga pulis. Kung meron, ngayon po magre-retire na kayo, meron po ba kayong gustong linawin tungkol sa mga posibleng misconception sa imahe ng kapulisan? At kung meron din po kayong hiling para sa mga may iwan yung mga pulis?
The word is misconception. That was miss. Ibig sabihin, mali yung concept. Lahat ng misconception, magkakaroon ng linaw yan in the end. You just have to endure. Like for instance, I will take the example of Atimonang case. Atimonang case, ang daming nagpunta sa crop out, ang daming nagsaling serious murder, many violations in the checkpoint. Pero lahat ng mga nagsabi dyan, and this goes to everyone, mga policemen listening now, lahat ng mga nagsasabi about misconceptions, yan yung mga wala doon sa lugar, sa place of incident. We cannot even say crime scene because there's no crime yet. So we call it place of incident. Lahat ng nagsabi doon, even Secretary de Lima, Congressman de Lima, wala sa doon. Yung mga ibang reporters, very antagonistic to the police force at that time, wala rin sila doon. So, after the incident, people tends to become an expert after the incident, which means dapat ganito ginawa nila, puro dapat. Kasi they are expert already. They were not there. And everybody becomes, or they have 20/20 vision. Nakikita na nila lahat yung mga it's a human rights violations and all that. In a firefight, ang policeman, hindi niya may maalala yung human rights violations. When firefights started, ano ang nasa isip ng policeman? Self-preservation po. Magtago, pumutok, magtago, pumutok. That incident, to be more specific, madaling araw, nandiyan na yung mga polis. Ano yun eh, katatapos ng New Year. So nakabakasyon. 50% of the police force nakabakasyon. Mga policemen hindi nagbakasyon. Naghabol ng mga criminals. Kasi those who were dubbed as gun for riot, and we have to neutralize them kasi papasok na yung election period. Kailangan mahuli talaga sila. Kaya lang, nung nangyari yun, lahat ng mga nagsasalita noon, mga tulong, mga policemen, mga gising. There was an encounter nung nagising yung mga tulong na those have 20/20 vision. Sabi ng mali yung ginawa ng mga police. And yun, ganun ang nangyari. So, do not be discouraged with those kind of misconception kasi yan talaga eh. You have to endure. Kaya because of those misconceptions, natalo kami sa public perception. Kasi nga, makita mo yung trabaho, maranta nila ko niya, kiluhan niya yung ginto, dami-dami, wet, and all that. But I have to tell you that none of those statements, mga nagsalita, nakakuha ng microphone nagsalita over the public, hindi nila tinestify sa witness stand sa court. Not counted lahat yun. That's why we're encouraging them. Lahat ng sinabi niyo dyan, sabihin niyo ngayon dito sa witness stand. Kasi dito sa witness stand, counted ang mga sasabihin niyo. But you have to take your own. Kasi kapag sinungaling ka yan, you'll be charged with perjury. None of them. Salita ng salita sa labas, pero hindi niya kayang sabihin sa witness stand. Wala. And then, these prosecutors at that time, I do not know kung ano yung mga pumasok sa mga isip nila. They were made to believe yung mga complainants na gano'n na nga ang nangyari. So, my heart goes with those complainants, wives of the suspects, neutralized in that particular fight. Kasi naniwala sila eh, na ganito pinatay ni Maranta. And eventually, they can substantiate those allegations kasi wala naman talaga. Kasi nga, you made mention of the word misconception. So, that's it. Kaya, ang solution sa misconception is the word endure. You have to endure. It's what we did. We endure. Alam namin na one of these days, we will be exonerated kasi walang present evidence. They tried to delay it. Biro mo, sa batas, ang petition for bail should be summary in nature. Dapat nga, 3 months lang yan eh, 6 months lang. Why it has to be 4.5 years? Bakit? Kasi wala kayong ebidensya eh. Pero you keep on prolonging this Teo Barata sa loob ng kulungan. Napapahiya na kayo eh. Pero we endured it. Ganyan talaga, we have to endure. Kaya, I told my men, you have to brace yourselves. You go to jail. Papasok tayo sa kulungan, pero lalabas tayo lahat. Nobody will be left behind. Lahat tayo lalabas sa kulungan.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Really good. Kita Lamar. Next time from Net25, si Sir Cesar Galupo.
My question is to other than Unicorn. Ano po yung masasabi ninyo na pinaka-fulfilling na bahagi ng pag-ibig sa police? pag-service sa tao. Kasi nung time po na lumaki din po ako sa probinsya, walang-wala din po kami that time. Then, ang isa po sa mga tumutulong sa amin is yung ang kamag-anak po namin na police. So, in return po, bilang pasasalamat na rin, pinangako po sa sarili ko na balang araw magiging police din ako para magawa ko din po yung nagawa ng mga pinsan ko na tumutulong sa iba. That's all.
Thank you. Si Colonel Mayas.
Sir, pinaka-fulfilling daw bilang police.
Wala pa.
Ano yung full?
I
Ulitin
need
ko
to,
na lang.
we've been paid here also, all of us were being paid here.
Sir?
Ano daw yung pinaka-fulfilling part na bilang isang police officer po? Tama po ba ako?
The most fulfilling. Parang I'm yet to experience that. I'm yet to have the most feeling why. I cannot consider yet the past experiences. Almost 30 years tayo. Parang wala pa yung most. But
As of date,
as of today,
Bali yung in-treasure niyo po na sa sarili niyo po na kumbaga ito yung peak point ng sa career ng bilang police.
can I a bit rephrase? Can I say maybe the happiest for me when I was able to go home to my family alive during the Marawi siege. I think that's the most for me now because I almost died there, and when I embraced my kids, when I got home, when I was able to see my child in a uniform, that's I think the most painful for me. Kasi I accepted myself na patay na ako eh. I died there in Marawi, but with the miracle of God, nakauwi ako ng buhay. And I was able to embrace my children. Kaya, but I made a promise then, nasa hospital ako na I will come back if you will give me another chance to live. So bumalik ako after hugging my children. So that experience, yung moment was emotional. Hinag ko yung anak ko. Yan for me, I cannot even still vibrate in me yung moment na yun. Because that's what I prayed when I was almost dying. I submitted myself ready to God. Nung binuhay niya ako, and wish granted that I was able to hug my kids, ay bumalik ako to fulfill also my promise to God. So, if you are talking about emotion, yun yung pinaka-peak of my emotion regarding to the service.
Thank you, sir. So, Colonel Calisto.
It was fulfilling sa isang pagkapulisya. Ang samahan namin ni General Malana is that yung pagkakaibigan, respetuhan, pagmamahal sa pamilya at higit sa lahat, pagmamahal sa kanya. Sinabi ko doon sa pelikula niya, he saved me not once, but twice. Yan ang pagsasamahan ng isang kaibigan. Sa hirap at ginhawa, meron kang isang taga-suporta, meron kang isang kaibigan na pwedeng sandalan, na pwedeng tumulong sa iyo. At siya yun. Kaya, yung pelikulang ito is that it will resonate to those who are willing to become police officers, at the same time, those who are police officers to establish friendship, respetuhan sa bawat isa, at higit sa lahat, pagmamahal sa pamilya, and pagmamahal sa kanya.
Okay po.
Pag-on ko lang na, itong tatlo is class 98 kabalikan. Magka-classmates niya. Kaya yung friendship nila nag-ugat sa cadete days nila. So, 98 silang tatlo. Si Captain Pinungan, ano yun na sir? 2020. So, saka si Lieutenant Colonel Rabino is the younger. Sila yung mga younger. Si Captain Pinungan was young. Colonel Calixto. Si Lieutenant Colonel Rabino is the young Malansan. Pero itong tatlo, class yung friendship nila, kaya nung nagtatanong kami, bakit sila siya? Kasi yan, ito yung, may samahan pa. So ito yung siguro pinaka, as a journalist, nakikita ko yung bridging ng life nila, yung bonding, at saka yung paano yung isip yung isa't isa, yun yung learning ko din sa kanila. So, may sila talaga.
Thank you po, ma'am. May next question is in connection with Dr. po. May bahagi po ba ng kwento ng mahirap sa publiko or i-include? May nahirapan po kami na isama.
May part pa sa kwento. So far naman, because when I started writing it, nakabase lahat sa court documents. So naging safe zone. Yung may mga portion lang talaga, yung may mga admission siya, na hindi po pwede, yung mga operations. Kasi si Sir graduate ng KGP, di ba? Graduate siya ng mga intelligence, yun na hindi pwede ilabas. Ang daming pictures, no? Ang daming pictures sa international intelligence sa communities, may mga awards siya sa other countries. Pero hindi siya pwede ilabas kasi confidential. Tsaka may, sa operations niya, those who were written sa mga bloggers, sa mga commission reports, nandun sa story. Except yung siguro may mga confidential sila, which confidential na. So, yun yung wala. Yung mga high-level operations na naging part ng blogger nandun.
Po. And in connection with you po, bali, as a director, ipagpapatuloy mo po ba itong sinimulan niyo na task? Kasi di ba po, kumbaga nasimulan niyo na ano yung plan niyo po ahead? Kumbaga, ipagpapatuloy niyo po ba pagiging director and you do other types of genres na in filmmaking po?
Yung nanalo na kami, sabi ko sa ito. Kasi di ba, may pressure na, di ba? So, when we went to FTRCB, ito na yung sinabi ni Chair Parson Lana. Sabi niya, gumawa ka ba? Sabi ni Atty. Ana naman, yung nagdadati ng ABS, sabi niya, gumawa ka ba? Pipiliin ka lang ang sumusulat ng dokumento sa Pilipinas. Pero, speaking of economy, you don't earn sa documentary, di ba? Kami na yung nakatiyatry ka na sila ng theaters, di ba? Kami na yung nakaikot, pero maybe may iniisip si Sir Yen kasi nung may meeting siya with Interpol, yung sa USAID, yung online sexual abuse and exploitation against children, baka yun yung kinukonsider natin.
The next project po.
Oo, documented. Kasi it's a worldwide phenomenon. Naging threat na rin sa mga bata, especially sa community. So, kinoconsider siya, but not at this point in time kasi kailangan yung mga malalim na research.
Baka pinitinan po namin si Sir, but baka yun po ang pwedeng subukan ba after the retirement. Producing po.
Human trafficking, pag-production na po. Hindi, part din siya ng ano eh. Si Sir Hansel is, lahat po ng journey ni Chapa, part siya, except na hindi siya nakikialam sa script. Hindi siya. Nagagalit siya na, bakit di ba pag pelikula, dapat may script. Sabi ko lang script eh. Kasi kaya kung nakita niyo yung movie, yung mga reaction niya, napaka-natural kasi nag-aaway din kami. So, ewan ko sir, magpupulos ka lang ng pelikula. After retirement.
Siya naman yung producer. Ano lang ako yan? I can be support. Mag-support lang ako in my in the best way I could. That's not my cup of tea.
Thank you so much, Kuya Cesar. Tawagin mo natin si Miss Anne Silvestre from ABS.
Hello po, good evening. General, ano bang after retirement, ano yung gusto mo makita siguro pagbabago or impact, influence sa kapulisan?
It's happening now. Nangyayari na yung pagbabago, but on some isolated cases, mga issues about police force, but those are isolated cases. Alam naman ninyo ngayon, na-involve ang mga police force sa sexual harassment and all that. So, I will leave that behind kasi iba-iba eh. We had a short conference sa PNPA kasi we issued PNPA also. garbage in is garbage out. Pag garbage pumasok sa police force, hindi yan kaya i-correct ng 6 months. For the PNC o 6 months ang pwede yan. At hindi rin kaya i-correct ng 4 years sa PNP. No. Dapat tama na yung breeding, tama na yung demeanors, tama na yung character pag pumasok. We can only polish so much. Pero hindi yung big blows na i-polish. No, hindi ganun. Kaya, yan na yung tinitignan ni si PNP and desire yourself. Kaya ang mantra ng PNP ngayon, and it becomes a way of life now, sa bagong PNP para sa bagong Pilipinas. Servisyo mabilis, tapat at mararamdaman. We always say that because that becomes a mantra and it becomes a way of life in PNP now.
Thank you. Last question lang, Secretary General Filipino. Dun sa Central Chapa, ano yung pinaka-tumagos sa inyo na reviews or parang medyo na siguro natakot sa inyo or nagustuhan nyo na na
Yung chorus, sa dila, I will read it in toto.
Katay mo na, sir.
Sa likod ng tiyapa ay may bigat na di mo nakita. Ang digmaan sa isip ay mas mabigat kaysa bala. Ginawa ang tama as far as we're concerned. Pero kami ang nagbayad sa mundong baluktot. Sino ang tunay na isa? Doon sa hindi mo nakita, bigyan ko kayo ng mga example. Kapag ikinulong mo ang isang tao, lalo na yung policeman, a breadwinner, a father, hindi lang naman siya ikinulong mo. Ikinulong mo yung pamilya niya. Lalo na kung hindi naman totoo yung mga accusations mo. Hindi lang. And it's an irreparable damage that it can never be corrected, which means it is forever biased into the human soul. Hanggang mamatay yan, maalala niya. Kasi it's forever etched into the epidermis. Naitato na dyan sa epidermis. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi sa mga commanders, per experience, huwag kayong mabuutos ng isang bagay na kayo mismo hindi nyo kayang gawin. Kasi when shit happens, baka hindi nyo kayang i-depensa ang mga tao nyo. Ang worst, baka kayo pa ang matras at hindi nyo kayang i-depensa sila. And if that is the case, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, you are not only doing injustice to your men, but you are coming up with an irreparable damage to their families. Wow, wag itong isugal ng mga buhay ng mga tao.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Hannah. Ms. Alucine Gas,
For nakikita ko, sa kung mga pinadala po siya sa mga Pilipinas, ano ba yung mga naging reception nila? Mga pasok?
Nung nag-showing, na sa Dhaka, yung Dhaka pa naiyak ako. Kasi hindi ko na-expect na police pala yung nanonood. Yung parang, so you're the director? Yes. You know what? It happens to us. So yung nakaka-relate sila sa journey ng Filipino police officers. Nung nasa kami nasa South Africa, December. That was 3 days after binalik yung police colonel na nag-investigate ng corruption. Tapos nung the 4th day, kami nag-screening sa academy. Yung paglabas ko, sabi niya, can you show that to the people of Johannesburg? Sabi ko, this is just for the critiquing of the academy of the Frey Foundation, Frey Journalistic Foundation sa South Africa. Nakaka-relate sila, sabi nila, it happens to us. So meaning, the acts and the scenes which they went through are also experienced by other police officers in other countries. So there is no monopoly of injustice. There is no monopoly of pain and sacrifices for police officers and their families. It's a universal feeling. Kaya yung lumalabas. So sa DACA, sabi ko na sa team, sabi ko, Nelson, pinamayaw ako, uwi na tayo. Ikil ba yung away? Sabi ng no, you stay, wala na, tapos yung slot namin. You have to go home. Tapos sabi, hintayin mo na, sabi ko, ikil ba yung away? Kakamago na eh. And doon pala, hindi namin alam din. Then yung away din na lumapit yung isang general na retired. Sabi niya, I watch your documentary. Thank you so much. Sabi niya, you know what? It happens here. Now, it happens here. So that was the time palang masaksagan ng preparation for the presidential elections ng Bangladesh. Kasi we were there January, February 12, yung election kaya relate yung mga police officers. So there's no such thing as the monopoly of pain and sacrifices for the police officers. It's universal. There's no such thing as parang nangyayari na dito sa Pilipinas. It's universal. Yun yung nakikita ko na dapat makita yun na. Kasi they are government public servants for that matter, but there's an institutional injustice of which hindi lang sa Pilipinas. So maraming tayo. So yun yung naging relativity ng situation ng Philippine National Police and the Bengali Police and the South African Police. So pare-pareho lang tayo.
Yung ginagawa ng benefit or yung tao na sa loob, nagkaroon po since yung topic is may mga sistema na na-expose, nagkaroon po kayo ng stress or problema sa pagkakagawa sa pagkakagawa?
Hindi eh, kasi yung unang pinabalas natin sa PG kami. Nung Champa, yung nag-believe kami, lumabas ng March 28, yung review ng MTRCB. Akin na yung folder ko. PG-13. So, we were so meticulous about the cases in court. We were so meticulous about the stains kasi bawal yun. So, nung pinareview namin, meron na sabi nila, ano ba yung review natin? Kasi ito na from 1 hour 52, naging 86 minutes na lang kami 1 hour 20. So, first, nag-alang paalam din kami na may ang Top Movie House is the first siguro sa Davao na naging production outfit na register ng MTRCB. Tapos ito yung nangyari. Si Benif naman naging PG-13. So, like, diba? R13, diba? R13. So, meaning, pwede siya yung age 13, pwede ba 13 na makapasok. So, meaning, kung sabihin mo na how do we relate to the audience, maybe the MTRCB people would like to thank them, nakita nila na may mga lessons na dapat nakita. May mga paghihirap. At first, parang apprehensive ako. The first fear I experienced was, come on, I'm from the region. Diba? Yun yung kabang ng provincial mo kami. Sa MTRCB. Pero yun naman, in fairness sa MTRCB, pag binigay mo lang naman pala yung best mo, pag sinunod mo yung policies nila, bibigyan ka naman pala ng magandang relief. Tsaka napaka-particular, like sa atin sa journalist, diba? Ano yung bawal? Exposure ng faces, diba? States, kasi ipag-vlog ka niya ng mga social media sites. So, yun yung nagiging warning heads up sa amin sa shooting. Kaya hindi din kami naghirapan. If that answer your question.
Well, yes po, pero yung sa paggawa po yung mga involved po ba dun sa mga issues na tinatagad sa lobby na parang may threats po ba or problem?
On me?
Well, dun sa buong production po.
So far wala naman. Kasi kamo sa amin na ito yung court documents yung sinusunod namin. So, nangyari din yung theatrical release after the June 25, 2025 final decision ng Supreme Court. So, naging safe kami. And we had yung lawyers, yung lawyers ng Pop Movie House, yung lawyer ng Newsline, yun yung pinareview namin bago namin sinala. Kasi we need to look at the legalities, to look at the gray areas of which baka ma-flag kami ng MTRCB, and we've been so very sensitive to the families. I actually reached out to Secretary Dilema. Si
Secretary Laila, the Senator Laila, nag-reach out ako. Yung sumagot lang sa akin, si Colonel Topacio, at saka si Attorney Topacio at si Attorney Torion. So nagkaroon ng balanse. And yung binumbok sila sa archival, pero binumbok sila, sir, sa documentary, nag-list naman sila, di ba? Yung mga yung mga involved na mga cases, sumagot naman sila. So, siguro, in the spirit of fair reporting and fair and balanced reporting, we were able to present all this. Walang naging threat so far. Wala naman. Wala, sir, no? O baka takot natin sila kay sir? Baka ganun.
Legal on
Sure.
issues lang.
Pwede na lang sa lahat po ng issues na napag-alaman mo, why do you keep on continuing to, what made you want to continue? Pagkagulit.
Do I have a choice? I had to vindicate myself. Not for me, but for my children. Hindi ako pwedeng magkwento na loser ako. That's not me. Sabi nga ni General Maria said, backing down, that is very unmarantan. And because it is the right thing to do. I have to uncover it, expose the side of it, the truth side of it, because if I keep my silence, then the truth will burn forever. Hindi na yan lalabas. Kung matras ako sa ating monan, hindi ako lumaban legally, baka nakakulong pa kami lang ngayon. Kasi some of the supposed witnesses were very aggressive, but nung na-realize na nila na we were ready to confront them head on, sige, huwag tayo dito. Mag-debate tayo. Even the prosecutors. I can remember one name. Prosecutor Hazel Dizena, almost my name. Very aggressive. Quoting many jurisprudence and many statements coming from the special forces. None at all. Walang na-conclude doon. Kasi hindi naman totoo. So, the way to uncover it is to meet it head on, engage it head on. That's how to do it. Well, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Nas. Next question natin is from Oski.
Hello po, congrats po sa lahat ng bubo ng movie. Excited po kung mapanood. So, I have a question po kay Makikita Katuaya. So, ano po ang natutok sa iyo na isa-isa ang buhay ni Colonel Hansel Malata? Ano ang natutok sa inyo na isa-isa ang buhay ni Colonel Hansel Malata?
Galit.
Well, it can be motivation also.
Kasi nung dumating siya sa Davao, everyone, you know the situation that it was before, right? So nung nag-unang Pilipinas, nung nag-post na yung mga staff ko sa News 9, kasi ito, berdugo, ang malabas. Sabi ko, bakit ka na-judge? Hindi galit sa kanya. Galit sa, bakit ganito? Kalalapak pa lang ng tao. Bakit naging judgmental tayo? So, sabi ko, wala din akong balak makipagkita. Pero nung narinig ko na nabash agad berdugo, mamamatay tao, yun ang lumalabas sa Davao Feast. You can see it now. Kasi dumating siya, may crisis sa, di ba, sa Davao. So, nung dumating siya, bago lang tinanggal yung regional director dahil naulog niya yung operation June 10. July 10 yung birthday niya. Parang days after his birthday, dumating siya. Kasi yung galit na, yung feeling mo as a journalist, di ba, na yung secretion mo, ang dami na nabash, di ba?
namin was, yung dyan, si Colonel Kong yun, sabi niya, Ma'am Edith, si Colonel Manasari ko, hindi po. At sabi naman niya, hindi po. That was it. The following day, nagkalkala na kami yung dalawa. Alam ko naman, he's an intelligence officer. So, the next thing which happened, na nakikita-kita na naman kami sa site. Tapos, nung October 26 talaga yun, sir, no? October 26, nung pinatawag ko ng Senate, Women and Children Committee, yung kay Senador Tiveros, doon ko napansin na ito pala yung girl na nasa video siya na nasa Tokyo. Ito pala si sir. Doon ko nasa size up. Pero before that, target ko na talaga na gagawin ka kung sino 15 million dollars. Yun lang talaga. Tapos galit na judge, galit sa media dahil mag-a-add up na naman ito sa bayaran, bias, di ba? So yun yung paano ko i-balance na as a journalist na hindi naman po kami lahat ganun. Naging judgmental kayo. But ganun yung galit na how to tell the truth. Ito yung sentiment ng people of Davao. How to tell the truth. Ito yung ito nangyari sa media in person. Paano how do you cleanse all this as a journalist? So yun yung naging motivation ko.
Follow-up question. Sa dami ng controversy ang tinalakay sa pelikulang ito, alin ang pinakamahirap balikan?
Context, mahirap balikan. Legality. Kasi yung mahirap balikan, I can tell you sa yung Batangas operation of action. Kasi naging malaking issue. Walang nare-report sa publiko. Ang hirap nun. At saka, yung recollection ng ni Colonel Mayamis, ang ni Colonel Calixto at ni Colonel Mayamis, at saka yung narration ni Deja Maranta, yun yung bounding ko eh. So I need to stay in Batangas for about 5 days sa San Pascual. Tapos narinig ko na yun, oo, totoo yun, ito yun. Paano ko ito, iba? Paano ko ipagtagpi-tagpi? Mahirap balikan kasi wala siya sa kasaysayan. Yung nakatatak sa isipan ng mga Batangueño, especially sa San Pascual. Kaya ang hirap ng eksena nila yun. Tapos yung pinaka-consent pa ng tao, patay na. So kung sasabihin mo na, in spirit of balance, fair and balanced na documentary, wala kang sa likod mo. Kaya yung naging founding ko, yung 67-year-old na matanda na nakausap ko, yung pinakamahirap balikan kasi wala ka sa kasaysayan. So yun, did I answer you?
Yes. Okay, for the last question na lang po, for everyone na lang. Kasi di ba yung pelikula tumakbo for the misconception, mga wrong news, mga accusations na, sa ngayon po, meron na po bang naiisip, everyone from the in front of us, na paraan para labanan din itong mga context ng mga fake news and everything? Anyone can answer?
Sa lahat ng eksena, paano nila labanan yung nangyari. As far as General Manantan, ang sinasabi naman niya is, napaka-forgiving na because he's getting out of the PNP. He offers his hand for forgiveness. So wala nang, yung misconception na sinasabi is just airing out naman, na ito yung nangyari sa amin. So, kung makita mo naman na despite all these misconceptions, these are the reality which they are projecting, diba, within the documentary frame. So, yun na yung naging, the documentary, to some degree siguro, na napakita nila yung hindi nakita sa iba. Tama ba, sir? Saka, you can see the frames na wala na yung vindictiveness. Siguro yung pain na doon, hindi yung ma-erase sa kanila. Pero the vindictiveness, hindi na kasi he's been reaching out to the families of yung mga, from 1999, from the first kill to the Black Shark operation, to Antimona, to Valle Verde, sa families ng kay forgiving na. Nag-cleansing na rin siya kasi ayaw na din niya na, siguro ayaw na niya, he wants peace, no? He only has 89 days left. So, yun yung nakikita ko na wala siyang, the pain is slowly easing, and he opens his arms for inner peace. Yun yung nakikita ko, sir.
Huwag kayong misconceive dun sa sinabi kong forgiving masyado. Well, sabi ko sa pelikula, sometimes it's lonely to do the right thing. But in the event na even in the state of being forgiving, some people will still attend or decide to cross-sword with me. Ang message ko ay huwag kayong mag-assume na hindi ko kayo masusugatan. That's my message. I am forgiving, but don't assume when you cross-sword with me na hindi ko rin kayo masusugatan. Para mawala yung ganong situation, dapat there should not be a malice attempt nor bad intentions na pwede mong iba doon sa kapwa mo para hindi tayo umabot sa ganong sitwasyon.
Yun, thank you so much. Good na lang natin si Accounting Director, napakabata, guwapo-guwapo, si Colonel Mayales. Technician, sa Maganda, si Director Anita Galawan, and si Colonel Gabins po. Hingi na lang tayo ng